Hello and welcome to episode 32 of our Ostriv Alpha 5.2 Let's Play. It is July of 1789. We have 1,755 people currently in our town. Last time, we built some more row houses over here. We improved a little bit of our efficiency on the farms by moving some field around, and continued our quest to plant a whole bunch of trees over here. Although these guys are doing all the work. We're not really doing much of anything, except waiting. So, what we're going to need to do today is continue to expand all of our housing. We have a desperate need for more laborers. Well, not currently because it's July, but during harvest time it gets pretty rough. And not all of our fields are being planted. Actually, the rotations got kind of out of whack. We'll have to take a look at that. Should not have 4 fields on fallow at the same time on a farm with 10 fields. But aside from that, stuff is going pretty well. We have a couple areas that we really could stand to improve with some additional housing, especially these houses with the gardens, because we are pretty often running out of food. If we take a look at our stored resources, we've got a lot of apples. Way too many apples. So we should probably start selling those again, because July is the time of the year when our people do harvest the apples. One of these, the cherries, apricots, okay, no, here we go. Yeah, this one alone has 1,200 stored up. And we planted so many other orchards because we were worried about food issues that we just kind of stopped caring about having logical amounts of some of this food. So we'll end up stocking some for export. Make sure we stay on top of that. But other things that we need to be doing, this area right here, we need to move these forest trees a little bit further this way and expand by putting some additional houses with gardens here. Make sure those are accessible to other places as well. We have a market here that is pretty good as far as being stocked up. There's a couple of these slots that could still be occupied by things that people are selling, but they aren't presently. Actually, there's nothing in this warehouse. We probably should be storing, I hate to just say firewood, but honestly, that's a really good thing to be storing all throughout your town. Because if you run out of that, then you're in some deep trouble. Fortunately, we have 130,000 of it. I think we're going to be fine. So for right now, let's go ahead and queue up a couple of forestries over here. And by a couple, I mean just one. Should be a-okay to operate with just one of those and get these guys out of here. We have a lot of other houses and stuff we could be putting in. So we're just going to jump right into it and start attaching all these things together. There's plenty of work to be done. Our most pressing need, of course, is to have more people, because that's how you have laborers for your farms, right? So there we go. We'll just keep adding a whole bunch of these. I think this should still be in range. Yeah, so right about here is where it falls out of range of the market stalls, which means we'll probably need to put another marketplace somewhere around here. We'll see. I know at the very least we can put another house right here and be pretty good shape. Make sure this is actually connected. Yep, there we go. Just stretch this all the way out. All right. Yeah, so anywhere we put in here is still close enough to most of the market stalls to be fine. So we'll stick that guy right there. Once this forestry is empty, we can move that and we can put a couple more houses here. Let's go ahead and put on turbo mode, as we do like to do. I'm going to go ahead and empty this out. Turn off all of our production, get this thing phased out, so we can put some more houses here. Then I think if I can make it stretch this far, I want to have this next house come all the way out here. If it's not possible, then make it a little shorter, then we'll put a third house kind of here in the corner. Because this is a nice wide path here to go straight into town this way. And there's things up here that we can take care of. Our barber surgeries apparently work sometimes. Sometimes they don't. It's very strange. But as long as they're actually working somewhat, then we should be in pretty good shape. Let's see, what else can we be selling here? Making plenty of sunflower oil. Probably could stand to increase production on that a little bit, but for right now I think we're doing just fine. Horseshoes, we have plenty. We can sell some of those. Iron we have plenty of. Sell some of that as well. Metal parts, are we exporting those? We sure are. And as far as buying goes, we're still a little while away from harvesting all of this stuff. But if there's anything we can actually make good use of, like honey, for example, is a good thing to have in stock. We can't ever seem to get enough of it. Buy some of that. We have plenty of hemp. We're going to have plenty of wheat. It really shouldn't be an issue once everything gets, well, harvested, I suppose. This is going to take a while for them to empty this. So in the meantime, everything's looking good. Cart shed here, our granary right here is not buying as much as it could. But it's also not the end of harvest season yet, so I think we'll probably be fine. Some of these people, I'm sure, will end up wanting to sell stuff. Plenty of apples. Plenty of apples. Probably, honestly, we'll have to wait for them to build this before this even comes close to being emptied out. So while we're waiting, let's take a moment and play around with how this is going to end up. So that's actually too long to go there, so that is kind of what I thought. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this to be more or less in a good spot. I think this should end up being okay if we check our length of the side. Yes. Good. So that'll be fine. Once we get this forestry out of the way, then we'll be all good to go. Ah, yes. Performing calculations, as one does. So hopefully now they can just go ahead and empty this out and just take everything over to this other forestry. We'll see, I suppose. They do have a lot of logs they got to chop up into stuff, and I don't know that we're going to be able to get them to do that. But we'll find out. If not, we can just destroy stuff. It's really not that big of a deal. We have tons of trees, and we're growing even more of them. So that's not a big deal. These guys down here are chugging along. Probably could plant a couple more of these reforestation areas, but they haven't even finished these yet. So I think we can pretty safely leave that alone for now. Now, I had thought about putting another bridge right here. Or possibly, well, this is a little close. But it's possible we could get another spot to go over. I think for right now, we don't need to worry about it. All right, LeChuckT here. Let's sell him some shoes. Tons of shoes. Tons of sunflower oil that we really can't sell, but the clothing, yes. Plenty of clothing. I don't want to sell 8,000. I don't have 8,000. There we go. Apples, which is... Did we really not stock those in that that trading post? I kind of feel like we did. The game done doing that yet? All right, let's pause. Come back up here and check. Man, this is kind of a hike to come all the way up here. Oh, we actually don't have a stock. We don't have room for it. All right. So let's replace that with apples. And then I think, yeah, they should be able to start importing that. We need to make sure that our messenger doesn't leave. He's got 17 more days. Our pigs have been kind of useless lately. As far as, well, not just eating everything and dying. So we're going to have to import some sallow, import some dried fish. Keep our people happy. We've got plenty of most of the rest of this. So let's see, can I import... I'm not going to have 5,000, but let's bring 3,000 in. That should be a-okay. Now, we have less than one apple. Okay, so somebody ate part of an apple. Good. 9 more days. Are we actually going to get anything brought in? Is my question. We have plenty of room for it. So it'd be a shame if we couldn't sell any apples because we didn't have any and we weren't going to have any. Wow, we actually don't have any apples left. They ate all those apples. Well, color me surprised. 3 more days. Let's pause and check. Let's see, we also have these guys coming in who could be buying some of our fun stuff. Guess we can sell them some iron too. We're making plenty of it. We have an infinite supply, so it won't be a problem. We run out of food really fast. We just have so much else going on. Alright, that's not a big deal. The game does start to chug. Slow down quite heavily. Alright, so this storage is empty. They're not going to get rid of the trees. They can't, so say goodbye to those trees. And say goodbye to these guys. Demolish the forestry. And we'll have that space all ready to go. And we can go ahead and start getting rid of some of this stuff too. As soon as the game stops thinking. There we go. Now some of this has been imported into there. Let's go ahead and empty this out. More and more people getting married. That's what we like to see. So, all we have to do now is wait for them to demolish this forestry. We can expand some houses here. And then think about what it is we want to do next. They are going to take their sweet time doing this, though. They always do. It's always funny how once you mark something for demolition, people just walk right through it like it's not already there. We've seen a woman do that a couple times. Oh, now we need more plots for burial. So I guess we can leave this alone. Come on down here to our cemetery we put in, was it last episode, 2 episodes ago? And we can go ahead and add some more of our grave plots here. Remember I said we're going to do maybe 2 rows of this. And then go on the other side. Not to keep this too crowded, but we'll just go ahead and get this all situated. Just so we don't have to bother with it for the next, hopefully, rest of the episode here. Oh, it's not gonna let me, put that there. Okay, well, that's fine. That ought to keep us good to go for a while. Next time when we have to plant more graves, but then we'll stick them in a row here, and then that probably is going to be enough to fill up the rest of this space. That for right now should be good to go. They're going to take their time getting rid of all of this stuff. Hopefully they don't gather any more logs because we don't need them. But we can go ahead and hire some guys here. And we can start putting in these houses. That's the wrong way. There we go. Just trying to think the best geometry for this is probably for that to end up looking like that, more or less. There we go. Put that house there. And then we'll come right again on the other side. Hook everything up like so. And then we'll want to keep this straight so we can have the other house that goes on this side be able to just use this as one fence line. So I think probably make this guy's yard a little smaller. Probably right there is about perfect. Then we can rotate this house just a little bit like that. There we go. That's going to look quite nice. These guys on the river aren't going to really be able to trade too much, but we do need to buy a lot of meat. We're just about out. So we'll spend 1,000 coins to do that. Broadcloth we can sell plenty of. We could probably start exporting more than 2,000 at a time, but there's not a lot of space. Oh, that's where our apples went. 2,000 of them. Easy sell. And of course we can sell beer. None of this will go until the spring, of course, because, well, the river is about to freeze over. And it's not like these guys can sail through ice. Not too many ships can. Alright, so they are, in fact, going through the logs without getting more. That's good. We'll just let that run its course. And then when this is all done, we'll have another spot for one more house. Alright, so going into winter, situation on food is looking... Wow, we have a lot of barley. That's actually really surprising. So I wouldn't have thought we would have had that much. But if we are going through alcohol, like I think we are, then we should go through most of that in a year. Yeah, we are probably in need of making another brewery. I know we have 3. So these guys are waiting on... No, they have all their barley. This one's good to go, yeah. We very well could have another area just for making more alcohol. I don't know, probably doesn't need to be here. If we do, it's going to, I'm sure, be over in this area. Make like a secondary town center. Because now this right here is kind of a mess. With all this stuff on top of the hill, we need to find a way to make that look a little bit better. But the problem is these hay dryers are not going to let me build any fences between them. Like, we could try, but it's going to say the space is occupied by mowing. And I don't think I can actually fit a fence through this tiny little spot here. Oh, some of it I can. But I think long-term the better option is going to be to just move this somewhere else and see what we can put on top of the hill. Some of this land that is, shall we say, less attractive would be a great spot to put hay dryers if we could fit them. Unfortunately, they're not going to fit there. But some of this land right here probably would be a decent spot. But again, it's all about fitting things where you have room, and we don't really have a whole lot of room. And I think I might want to keep this space open anyway for another cowshed. And if you remember last time around, we started a new system of cowshed staffing, I guess you could say. We're just going to protect all the dairy cows and let the bulls sort themselves out. It tends to be easier to keep track of things that way. And hopefully it helps our dairy be a little bit more productive, although that seems to be kind of an issue, keeping stuff in stock there. But we can give them as much help as we can by just keeping track of all of this. And there we go. Now, in terms of sheep, we need to keep an eye on this, make sure we don't have any wool clogging things up. I think we have enough storage for all of our wool that that's not going to be a problem, but every once in a while, we'll check again in March or April. It does get so full that they can't bring any more water or food in for the sheep, and you know, that's bad news. Nobody wants that. How are we looking here? Okay, good. They finished with all of their logs. Now they just have to empty all of this out, and then this can go away. This is working quite nicely over here, getting these trees taken care of. Very good. Yeah, so we'll give this a little bit more time as they empty all of this out. There's no shortage of ways for us to amuse ourselves. Yeah, so these guys still say they don't have any income, but I know for a fact they do. It ends up working. Even though it says previous month's income 0, I know they're going in there, and I know they're getting services, because we looked at it last time. It's just really inconsistent. I don't really understand how that works. Now we have this area up here we haven't really done too much with. I think probably could stand to plant some nice trees here. Actually, we hadn't done that yet. We just have these big tall cottonwoods right here. Probably could plant some more here and then around here to make this look a little bit nicer. Could be a fun time-lapse project. We might actually do that a little bit later, but first let's check out what these guys are wanting. Iron, we actually don't have a lot because we can't do anything during the winter, so we probably will skip out on selling some to them right now. Sunflower oil, oh, we have tons. Yeah, let's go ahead and sell some. We still have a little bit of honey left. Still have plenty of wheat, a little bit of hemp. So just to make sure that we're keeping ahead of things, let's buy a little bit more honey. Still have a little bit of dried fish too, that's good. These guys gotten any more money yet? 30. Yeah, see, there you go. You can't ever predict it. But as long as they're able to, you know, support themselves, then that's fine. I just don't want to have them sit for years and years and years not making any money. All right, so this is empty. So let's go ahead and demolish. And as soon as that's gone, we'll be able to put our extra house here. And then see what else we want to do right here. We could have more houses backing right up to this field. We could have put in a line of trees, which might actually be smart. I guess theoretically that's not historically accurate to Ukrainian farming practice, but it does look cool. And that tree placement would be something I would do in a time lapse, so I don't bore you guys to death. Right now, let's just get this forestry out of here. We'll put another house in. And then we'll see where we're going next. I just love watching them build and disassemble stuff. Very satisfying. Especially when they're all in the same spot at the same time. Alright, now this stack of wood we need to make empty so we can place another house here. And here they come. I thought they were going to come get that. Never mind. Well, I guess that makes me a liar. So as soon as somebody comes and grabs this little stack of wood, we'll be all good to go. And we can't do anything else over here until this is gone. Or we could just, you know, destroy it, but what's the fun of that? Oh, there we go. Cool. So the same spot right here will turn into a house. I think we'll have the doorway on this side. Have this come here. Look at that. Look at that. Like a glove. Perfect. Right there. Okay, that's looking good there. And then we'll keep this relatively straight right there. Looking good. Perfect. Alright, so it's March. Let's go back to normal speed. Check on our farm rotations before anything gets plowed. Make sure we're not going to have too much fallow at the same time. That's looking okay. 4 out of 11 fields is kind of a lot, but rotation-wise, it checks out. It should be, storage is full, really? Oh, that's a lot of flax. We'll have to do something about that. This one's looking pretty good. This one is 4 fallow fields out of 9, really? All right, let's take a look at this. Can any of these be pushed back around that are fallow? Probably not, honestly. If this one's already only at 76, it can't go three seasons in a row. 82, 82, 61. Probably can't go 3 seasons in a row, 4 seasons in a row. So maybe it is actually set up correctly for these to all be fallow. Oh, this one definitely not. Alright, well, here I was thinking I was about to outsmart the game. These two do not need to be on the same rotation. These can be, actually, no, maybe not. Maybe that's fine. We do have 13 fields, so I guess we have like 2 or 3 full rotations of this whole thing, so I guess that's okay. I was just looking at the wrong spot. And then this one up here, did we already look at this one? I think we might have. Now this one is the one I was going to be concerned about. So it's all potatoes. Potatoes, buckwheat, and all that. So that looks fine. I'm glad we checked that out, though, because we've identified a mighty need for flax storage. We already have a full warehouse of 10,000 here. So let's find ourselves a spot. I don't know if I can fit another warehouse right here. I mean, I can, but is that going to make the most sense to have that there, or would we want to do something like this? I just don't know. I don't really have a great place to put a lot of this stuff. No, I've got room right here, but I think this would be better served to have some sort of other production, like to use the flax. So maybe we could do some Weaver's Workshop action over here. Can I fit one of those here? I think I can. That actually would not be a bad thing to stick over here. Yeah, so if we back this up a little bit, just put that right there. I think right in the front of it we can stick ourselves a bench. And then decorate with a couple of bushes. Lilac bush here. Another bush right there. And then maybe at the corner we can even put a tree. Because we don't have to have pavement absolutely everywhere, do we? Just a little bit of decoration goes a long way, right? And right in front of here, too. These don't have any decoration whatsoever. So we can make it seem a little bit more inviting, a little more homey. And right here in the corner, there we go. So even just a couple bushes around the stoops is better than nothing, right? So Weaver's Workshop there, we'll go ahead and turn on that turbo speed. Get the stuff situated. All this being here on the farm right now isn't that big of a deal, but we do need that out before the harvest comes in August because, well, we're going to need to put stuff in there. How's our cart sheds? Looking good. We have good storage in the hay barracks here. So I guess we just have to wait for this house to get built and then our Weaver's Workshop while that is happening. Last time we did do a little bit more, maybe it was 2 episodes ago, I can't remember, it kind of all runs together. But we did a little bit more here. We still have to actually pave where these areas come through. So why don't we go ahead and do that here. Just bring this all the way out like so. Then we can connect everything up later. But the idea is we want all of this to be relatively good looking without having to think too hard about it. So just little stuff like this every so often that you notice something needs to be done. Usually is a smart use of time. Alright, so we can put this right like so, and then there's one more little doorway. If I can remember where it is. There we go. There we go. All the way up to the fence. Get this put in place, and then if we've done this correctly, we can just connect in the middle. And it shouldn't be, yeah, see, this area is already occupied. We're going to have to get a little creative here. Because now this whole thing is kind of occupied here. Yeah, so this might actually not be the correct spot. We'll have to be a little more careful with how we lay this out. If we get too far into the fence, then it's really not going to want to line up with anything. Plus, I don't think we want it to be inside this fence anyway. So we'll see. Can this go all the way out here? It looks like it can. I think I can get a little bit more out of this way. There we go. Then we can bring this all the way down. See, now that wants to connect to the area right here. We don't want that to. Alright, so lesson learned. I went a little bit too close to the fence over here. Well, that's fine. We'll just redraw it. It's not a big deal. Then I think we can just drag this all the way across. Maybe I'll start at the other side. Alright, that works. To put that there, please do not crash. Thank you. House is done. So now this should be a little bit better. And of course, we got to come over here and figure this out as well. Now, I'm not sure. Yeah, we're going to have to come down a little bit here. Okay, so it's occupied by what? Yeah, so something here isn't meshing quite right. So I think we're going to have to try this thing again. It is a little tedious, yes. But once we have this in place, would be nice to know we don't have to worry about it anymore. Alright, so now it already says something's occupied. Yeah, we're gonna have to do this whole thing again here. Yeah, let's come a little bit further out. That's the ticket. There we go. And I believe, yeah, because the doorway here comes a little bit further out. I doubt it lets me... Oh, okay. That actually works. Fine by me. And that should all intersect nicely. We'll just have to keep track here in a second. See what that looks like once the game's done thinking. It does a lot of that. Okay, so that ends up... Oh, cool. That didn't bleed over into the fence. I had lost control of my camera angle. Good job. That's looking good. I think is this one next that they're doing? Yeah, looks like it. It's always fun to watch them do this in fast motion. All right. Next one should be, I think this guy right here. Yeah, there we go. So I guess we just take a look-see at them doing this real quick before we go off to do everything else. Shouldn't be too long. And then this piece right here, just as soon as they come in to do that. But already, that's such a big improvement, having these connected. I don't know if we're going to have stone go all the way around, but I definitely think between these little archways all the way out to the other side would be ideal to have that paved. And we've got some opportunity back here to put some other things, maybe line some bushes along the back side here, because they are just going to kind of walk through here if they at all feel like it. So this side should be all complete, and that looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but it is paved. It is looking pretty nice. Looks like that side is getting there, and then we have our three pieces. Sorry, there's not really a good camera angle here. I guess I could just do that. That is going to look nice when that is all done. We just have to get them to actually bring everything in. Yeah, so here comes all the stone. They should have this done in just a second. We'll check out our messenger, and then I think we'll get everything set up and have a nice long time lapse. Not going to be a long episode. We are getting to the point where it is kind of impossible to do huge updates every single time because, well, the town's huge and there's not really that much we haven't done yet, short of getting population milestones. So I don't need to show you everything every single time, right? Now, where's the rest of this stone? Bring that in here. Let's get this thing going and move on to everything else we've got to do. Here it comes. So much fun watching them put that stuff down. Very, very pleasing. All right, and there you go. So now this is pretty much good to go. We could, if we wanted to, put another section of stone filling this out, or we could do something like maybe put in some nice bushes, which I think is going to be a little bit of a better use of space, all things considered. Make things look just a little nicer. And there we go. So we'll leave that alone. We'll come back and do some other stuff in the future with that. But right now, let's go ahead and get, yeah, look, people sitting on the bench outside the Weaver's Workshop. You betcha. All right, we don't need 20 laborers here. We can go down to 5. That's fine. All right, so that should help use some of our flax, because it's going to be harvest time in just a few months. And we want to make sure that that is not going to be stuck in there. That would be quite bad. All right, before I forget, we have our messenger here. Let's go ahead and slow down. They're only going to be here for 3 more days. Clothing, if we want to make more, we have to sell what we have to make room. Broadcloth we can definitely sell a ton of. There we go. And we don't have any apples yet because harvesting happens next month, but we sure do have a lot of beer. Once again, sell a whole bunch to them. Mead, we have 10,000 still, but dried fish is great to be buying. So let's go ahead and buy, let's say buy 15,000 dried fish. Why not? Use a whole bunch of money. Our people will eat it. They definitely need it. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and start building a couple more things. I think we have room for another row house. Can do a 2-story with an arch right here. Put in a little cut through to get to the other side here. Someone had that idea in the comments. I thought that was nice. So we'll give that a shot. Just connect these up right here. And then that way traffic can go kind of through. I could turn this around 180 degrees to put the archway the other way, but I want all the front doors to be on the same side. So we'll just roll with that. We'll put that one there, and then I think I can fit one more with a store on the side here. Line everything up nicely. Just have this be kind of like a big long string of row houses might be kind of fun. We have these trees in the way though, so we're not going to be able to do too much more in that regard here. But we can put 2 in and wait for them to get these trees out of here. That could be a good while. But getting these 2 here would be nice. So that'll be something we get in our time lapse. And as far as other things, we don't have a lot of open vacancies right now. We will in the fall when it comes time for actual harvesting. So what I think we should do is focus on putting in some more production stuff, like all these fishing docks. We definitely could use some more fishing. And this is a great place to put a lot of that. Now we don't want them all to be super close to each other, but we can put a couple here and there. I think the jury is still out on whether or not having them all clumped together is truly bad for fishing. But I gotta say, I'm not convinced that's true because these boats go everywhere. It doesn't really matter where you stick the fishing docks. They will go pretty much everywhere. We have 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. We could probably easily put another 2 over here. We could put them actually behind this farm. Is not a bad spot. Here's not a bad spot either. Probably more inclined to put 2 of them there, honestly. So then that would be 4 additional. We probably should have another 10 of these, honestly. But if we can find a good spot, like maybe right around where they have the bridges come in, it's probably a good spot. Just 2 there, so that's another 6 fishing docks. There's no way these will all be done by the time that the river freezes over. But it'll be good to have those. These additional, where did I put those here? Probably are fine to stick with that boatyard, but you can never have too many boatyards if you have the resources to support them. So I'm going to put one right there. And I think we will we'll build that first before we build any of these fishing docks so we can actually get boats built as soon as they're ready to go. And then I think probably come down over here. Would not hurt to have another boatyard. Even though we have one right here, we are going to be putting more of them, more fishing docks around there. So if we have this boatyard right here, probably would not be a bad idea either. So I will actually have this one built for these 2 and then this one before these 4. That looks good there. And we seem to be doing okay on the tavern front. I haven't seen complaints from them in a while. Poor old 97-year-old wife is still running everything all by herself, but look, she's making a ton of money. Previous month's income was over 70. 74 down here. Great. Love to see that. So I think as we expand... Oh, we also have this one up here. How are they doing? 43, not too bad. As we expand over, maybe not so much right here, but especially over into this corner, we're definitely going to need to have a completely separate city center, kind of like how this is set up, with a bunch of services right in the same area. But for right now, the 3 taverns seem to be doing just fine. So why don't we go ahead and make this our time lapse? We'll build these row houses, we'll get these fishing docks ready, and then somewhere in there, we'll do a whole bunch of tree placement so I don't bore you guys to death. But for right now, let's just make double sure we have all the materials we need. We have almost 80,000 bricks. That's great. We should have enough lime 5,000 lime is plenty. Wood-wise, I'm not even remotely concerned. So let's go ahead and set these on turbo mode and watch them build. We'll see you on the other side. All right, that is quite enough of that. We got a whole lot done, though. And this area is going to look really cool with the cottonwood trees bordering these fields just as soon as we can get the rest of this cleared out. That'll be next time, though. We did get one additional house with a big garden put in. Hopefully that will help our food supply just a little bit. These fishing docks don't have boats yet because they are currently in the process of building. I'm glad I built the additional boat sheds. Boat yards, whatever you want to call them. Because these guys, at least some of them, can start fishing now. Hopefully we'll keep our supply of fish up a little bit. But something tells me that's not going to be the case. Cows are looking pretty good. Our bull shed probably needs to have another wave of unwanted bulls placed into it. So let's just take a second here. Transfer a couple of them over. We can get some older ones taken care of. Can I not drag this somewhere? No? There we go. Just make sure I do have one protected here. I might not. Did I accidentally send the one that I was using for breeding purposes? Definitely did. All right, let's protect that guy. And that's going to be that. Now in here, we can send our little one over. Protect these newborn cows. And then I believe that's going to get us about where we want to be. Looking good. Progress over here is continuing. These guys have had fishing boats for a while. The store doesn't have a ton to sell, but we can start filling up with some other things. We have this guy's got a store as well. And these market stalls, well, we have one that hasn't been, actually two that haven't been occupied with anything. So we can go ahead and get somebody hired here. I guess technically superfluous because of everything else we're selling, but I think it's fine. Now, in terms of trade, let's see, buckwheat. Oh, we're kind of low on buckwheat. Got 1,752 to work with. Don't need to buy any here. We make plenty of that. Lime, we have enough for now. So buckwheat, I think we can safely go ahead and buy a pretty good amount of buckwheat. We do use it. We sell it. We use it for animal feed. So that'll be fine. But yeah. All in all, good progress today. We got tons of stuff done and lots more to do. I think future Ostriv videos are probably going to be a lot like this one where we have big, long time lapses and everything else is pretty packed because, let's face it, there's not too much more we need to do. So let's find ourselves a nice spot and watch some people go by. I need to put something here to try and prevent people from coming back and forth. So actually, that's the last thing we can do today. I believe that is fence number 4 that we want to place here. Yeah, we'll just put that fence there to prevent people from cutting across. Maybe put some other kind of gathering thing here if we feel so inclined. I think I will just go ahead and bring this fence all the way to the front. There we go. Looking pretty nice. I think for right now we can leave this alone and sit hello. How did that get through? How did that get through the back there? That's not supposed to happen. Unless they sent a wagon up behind here to get stuff out of this warehouse. It might have actually been what they did. Well, that's fine. How many wagons are you trying to fit back there, man? Come on. It's just a little alleyway behind a tavern. Well, at any rate, I'm really liking the amount of stuff we got going on in here. These trees, once they grow up, are going to be quite nice. Going to finish this area off pretty nicely. We can still put some more decoration in here. some more benches, some more bushes and stuff. But I think for right now, that's a good start. A little graveyard here. I think this is the first grave we ever put in 1746. Sounds about right. Yeah, lots of little stuff to just be appreciative of how everything is panned out in here. I think it's gone quite well. Remember when this was the outskirts of the city? We had nothing else going on over here. Good times. Oh, we didn't do anything with this, did we? That could be a next time thing, though. There is plenty more to do. Look how nice this looks with all these trees growing up. It really, really brings this whole area together. So thanks for being here. I'm glad you decided to stop by today. We do have plenty more coming this week. Of course, more Timberborn tomorrow. Hopefully, if I have time today or tomorrow as of the release of this video to get into Kingdoms Reborn again, we're going to have a new series on that one. Maybe starting Wednesday. So hopefully we can plan on that happening. I'll, of course, let you know in community posts as new stuff happens. Yeah, that is all we got. Huge thank you once again to the beard boosters who make all of this possible for me to continue doing these each and every day. Even when I got a lot of other stuff going on, makes it very, very helpful for them. So their names are up on the screen. Got a lot of new ones this weekend in our live streams. So thanks to all of you who came out to that and everyone who donated memberships and joined on their own accord. Very, very much appreciated. I'm very glad you're here. Hopefully you continue to enjoy videos. As always, comments are open. Anything you've got on your mind, questions, comments, concerns, just want to say hi or whatever have you. I do read every single comment. I can't always respond, but I do read them, and I'm glad you're here. So, again, whatever's on your mind, love to hear it, and I'm just thankful that you're here. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and whatever you're doing, have fun, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.